dear people of Southern Cameroons, my dear people of Ambazonia, fellow brave warriors of our liberation movement, accept liberation greetings from me, Comrade John Akuro, this Saturday, the 25th day of October 2025. My dear people, I'm delighted to be here this day once more so that we have a very important session of information sharing, a very important session of sensitization and mobilization. These are very difficult moments, these are very trying moments, and there's so much going on. A lot of things will be going on really, and things will be changing so fast. And so, stay glued to this platform because I'll be coming on sometimes 2 3 times a day as soon as fresh information comes up that could be life-saving, because things are, as I said, are moving really, really, really fast. And so we have to stay informed, we have to stay mobilized, and we have to stay really sensitized, because sometimes we may have to move from one place or the other for safety. And so you're welcome to this platform. I want to begin by extending hearty regards to all the people of the Southern Cameroons, wherever they may be. I want to particularly recognize our people, the civilian population on ground zero, our Bayam Selams, our commercial motorbike riders, our taxi drivers, the interurban transporters, the business community, everybody. I also want to recognize the clergy, the people of the church, who are increasingly beginning to understand that there is no point again standing on the sidelines. There is no point again trying to be neutral. You can't be neutral in a situation of injustice. If you are silent and you claim to be neutral in a situation of injustice, you are definitely standing on the side of the oppressor. This is something that is becoming clearer to everyone by the day. So I'm delighted to be here. I want to welcome you on this platform. If you are just joining, you're on the JMA Connections, and I'll urge you to share the link as you come in. Share as much as you can, and make sure you subscribe. Make sure you subscribe so that you stay informed. And when you subscribe, also put the click on the bell so that it should alert you anytime something new comes up on this platform, on this channel, so that you will be continually informed. That said, my dear people, we will move straight into the vive of the conversation that I'm bringing here now. I have announced over and over on this platform, our sensitized people, day in, day out, that La République du Cameroun's day with history was closed. For almost 2 years today, I've said on this platform every day that La République du Cameroun's day at Armageddon will be really, really interesting, and that day will be a day that they will see and feel what us, the people of the Southern Cameroons, have been going through. I said it on this platform that what they are standing by and cheering and celebrating when they're happening to us, those same things will happen to them. I told them that everyone will have their turn at the barbers. What happened to coffee would definitely also happen to cocoa. And today, they have only their eyes to cry. They can see for themselves now very clearly that they had been pampering, they had been, adulating, they had been celebrating fire, they had been celebrating evil, and that evil today has turned its ugly head on them and is getting ready to consume them right now. The running battles in La République du Cameroon have started. The massive arrests have started. The setups have started. Atanga Ponji is beginning to unleash on them what they were celebrating him for unleashing on our people. Don't forget ever that when they appointed Atanga Ponji Minister of Territorial Administration, the intention was for him to come and use his horrible methods that they knew on our people. Atangaji is a specialist of setups. He does all kinds of things. He will kill just so that he should set some other person up. He will kill just so that he should get, an etiquette and tack it on you. Attack upon you, do all kinds of horrible things just because he wants to get his way. And today, Attack upon you knows that history is about to catch up with him. He knows that right now he's actually a wanted criminal around the world because the records of the things he has done in the southern Cameroons are clear. They have them. Even the people carrying out some investigations in Norway have those records. Those carrying out some investigations in the United States have those records. They know that Paul Atanganji actually set up and arranged the killing of a U.S. missionary in Bambui, Charles Wesco. And the intention was simply to see how to get the United States of America to turn against the people of the southern Cameroons merely fighting to free our homeland. They have those records. They have all that information. They have all the confirmation. Atanganji knows this. Atanganji also knows that the Norwegians, who are currently carrying out serious investigations into what has happened and is happening in the southern Cameroons, have full records of what happened to Florence Ayafo. They have all that information. They know that the over 30 boys that were killed in Benin, killed like that by the soldiers, and that one ended up with a broken neck and so on, and was in hospital receiving treatment, and his two brothers went to visit him to pay him attention and to support him there. And La République du Cameroon soldiers, at the behest of Atanga Ponji, visited the hospital, pulled him out there, along with the two brothers who came to look out on him, carried them away, slaughtered them again, and dumped them somewhere in Benin. Why were they all killed? We all heard. The late venerated chairman of the SDF, Ni John Fundi, at the time, said that the fact that they had to kill everything that was alive at that place was not just suspicious. It pointed to the fact that there was something they were struggling to conceal. And the thing they were trying to conceal was that among these boys were people that Atanga Ponji and Fru Jonathan Mujingni used to slaughter Florence Ayafo brutally, so that they will say this is an heinous act carried out by freedom fighters of the southern Cameroons, and this is an act of terrorism, just so that we should be branded across the world terrorists. These methods used by Tanga Ponji in the southern Cameroons, with a lot of cheers, with a lot of accolades, with a lot of celebrations in La République du Cameroun, he is transferring these methods to La République du Cameroun on the people of La République du Cameroun. Oh, how the music is seeming interesting. Atanga Ponji knows that if Paul Biya goes down, he will have no hiding place anywhere in the world. And so for Atanga Ponji and all of them who are implicated in this whole thing, including what happened in Gabu, with people like Ngala Gerald, Foucalistus Gentry, and Fru Jonathan Mejingni, with Fotabe Tando and Takoncho in Manu, who know what happened to the people that they slaughtered in Manu in the same fashion and for the same purpose. They know what awaits them on the international scene. So for them, this battle to keep Paul Biya in power is a do or die. And so they will go to every end to grind anyone in La République du Cameroun that's going to stand on their way. And so citizens of La République du Cameroun are beginning to dance to that same music. Never forget, this music is what they are dancing to right now. So like I said, the mass arrests and the running battles have started. And this were the next group after they had arrested Usman, Abubakar Usman May, on the question of Belububa Magari. These are the next group. So you see here, I have our own brother here, Lena Fabrice, that you see on your screen. And then you have Anise Ekane in the middle, and then Chamini, Jokam Chamini. Now, I feel so frustrated with Lena Fabrice, because we have I've on this platform preached and urged our people, stay away from the politics of La République du Cameroun. Stay away from any kind of involvement. Because at the end of the day, you will be victimized. Because when they pick up these people and they'll be treating them, the treatment that will be meted out to Lena Fabrice will be different from what will be meted out on Jekam Chameni and Anise Ekane. Don't get surprised. I won't be surprised if at the end of the day, for one reason or the other, they set free Jekam Chameni and Anise Ekane and leave Fabrice Lena there. For the simple reason that he's of Southern Cameroon's origins. This is what I keep telling our people. Avoid this. So, these people are members of the coalition that pushed Issa Chiroma Bakari to victory under the banner of a group they called the Union for Change 2025. And so, for La République du Cameroun, they believe that pushing the proclamation of the official proclamation of the results to Monday, October 27, should give them the opportunity to go out with this heavy hand, set fear, panic, drive people into, a serious frenzy, and set confusion among those that they consider are the leaders who will be giving, who will be dishing out instructions for people to demonstrate. And so that is why they are doing this. You ask them, they will claim ab initio that these are preemptive arrests. That's not all. This was the first wave. This is another wave. Here you have Abdurrahman Baba, who is on the top right there. Abdurrahman Baba is from the northern region. You have Mathieu Yubi. Mathieu Yubi is the gentleman who is bigger in the picture. And then right under there, you have Aristide Mono. These are other actors that do not necessarily belonging to that Union for Change, have been very vocal on the media as to what they know to be the real outcome of the October 12 presidential election. That is not all. They also captured their own brother. This is Professor Abba Oyono. Professor Abba Oyono is the guy who actually flew to Garoua, because, not to Marwa, he was going to get to Garoua from Marwa. He wanted to go in there, meet Issa Chiroma Bakari, have a conversation with him. I mean, after these elections, of course, he was stopped at the Marwa Salak airport. He was questioned and later on put back, on board the same Cameco Airlines flight that he flew to Marwa on, and shipped back to Yaoundé, and now he has finally been detained. And so, I go now to what I say is that setup, the Atanga Ponji method. What happened is they have been trying to build a kind of narrative that will enable them, Atanga Ponji, Ngongo, Jacques Famandongo, Grégoire Owona, and others. They have been trying to build a kind of narrative, the narrative that will lead them to, portraying themselves to the rest of the world as acting literally in self-defense, as trying to preempt and to disorganize a plot that is being put in place by others to destabilize Cameroon. I'll explain to you why. They always shout that thing that no, people are trying to destabilize Cameroon, because they know that the destabilization of Cameroon will mean a lot to people in some spheres. This will be the subject matter of the communication that I will bring up at towards the close of the day. That will be at 11 p.m. Amber time. At 11 p.m. Amber time, when it will be 11 p.m. in Boya, 11 p.m. in Bamenda, 11 p.m. in Kumba, 11 p.m. in Ebamut, and also 11 p.m. in Akwaya, or 11 p.m. in Bisomabang. Yes, 11 p.m. in Womb. At that time, make sure you reconnect to this platform, because there will be a very important conversation here telling you the geopolitical risks involved with what is going on in Cameroon right now, and why Some superpowers are already very actively involved and the sites that they are taking. This is very important. Make sure you don't miss that broadcast later this evening. And so, that said, I was pointing out that once they arrested this trio, Atangaponji's strategy immediately zoomed in. What did they do? They suddenly displayed these weapons. They said all this material were seized from Anise Ekani and Jacob Chameni's residences. Did you hear that? What you are seeing there, you have stacks of money. They said they got them with huge sums of money. I don't know what they said the money is meant for, whether meant to bribe millions of people to go to the streets and demonstrate or what. Also, you have the military paraphernalia, that is military uniforms and all of those. I wonder if and they said Ekani, Jakam Chameni, and the Issa Chirumas were planning to distribute military uniforms to people to wear and use them in demonstrating to civilians. This is something that we are seeing. You also have the AK-47, that's guns. You have bullets, you have ID cards and phones, and of course, you have assorted war weapons. So suddenly they claim that they got all of this in the homes of Jacob Chameni and Anise Ekane. That these people were keeping all of this in their homes, getting ready to fight them. This is really amazing. Because you ask yourself, would these people be this naive? Were they the ones to go out and fight? Because if they have this kind of material, they will not be keeping it on themselves. This will already be in the hands of the young people whom they expect to go out there and fight. I don't expect that you're hoping that if they wanted to do an armed insurrection, it will be Jacob Chameni himself and it will be Aniset Ekanik himself holding guns and then, carrying bullets on themselves to go out there and fight. And of course, you see, they say there are two, and they have two guns here. So one of them should be Jacob Chameni's and the other one should be Aniset Ekane's. This is Paul Atanganji's work. And I'll explain to you how it happens. I had said on this platform that Paul Atanganji got endeared to the Machiavellic, genocidal, and evil bias system because there is an individual, and that individual has insisted until today that I don't call his name because that individual is out of the country and has really decided to lie low, avoiding anything that has to do with the Republic of Cameroon. But I had this conversation with that individual because I had overheard this story. He confirmed every single detail that I had in the story to me. This individual, La République du Cameroun, they were getting worried that this individual was refusing to get himself soiled, but had access to a lot of documents and knew too much for them to let him alone. And they did not want to kill the individual because killing him could have caused them, a lot more harm. So they were wondering what to do with that gentleman. Paul Atanganji, at that time, he was not yet even minister, delegate at the presidency of the Republic. He had just stood for elections in Bamenda for parliament and was beaten at the polls mercilessly by the SDF when the SDF was still a real political party. And so, Atanga Ponji succeeded in getting his position of minister without portfolio at the presidency of the Republic when he hatched a plan. According to this plan, they went to the mortuary in Yaoundé, the mortuary at the Hôpital Central in Yaoundé, Hôpital Central in Yaoundé, not General. And they went there and arranged with the mortuary attendant to say they needed a very fresh corpse, that anyone that dies fresh that they bring and the person's body is still warm, they shouldn't put quickly in the mortuary, they should signal. So when they signal, they went there, sent people, they went and carried this person's corpse, took the corpse to the home of the individual that was the target, and coyly dropped the corpse inside the person's yard. This poor individual was in his house, did not know whatever was happening. And when they dropped it there, 30-40 minutes later, gendarmes and people of the DGRO, that's the Directorate General of External Research, showed up at the man's residence and said they had intelligence that he was hiding something, he was whatever, so they had come to do a search in his home. The poor guy, knowing he had nothing to worry about, allowed them. When they conducted a search in his house. He said, then they were going around. Then they suddenly called and said, what is this that we are seeing here? You see what we're talking about? They called him to witness a fresh corpse in his own yard. This man was lost. He was confused. He couldn't understand what was going on. He said everything. He explained himself to people. Nobody listened to him. They told him, who is this person? And why did you kill this person? So now, they took him. They arrested him. And then they said they were taking the corpse into custody to keep it for investigations to continue. And of course, the corpse quietly went back to the mortuary where it came from. The family of the deceased was not even aware of what happened. Will not even know that that's what happened to the remains of their beloved one. And they took the corpse back to the mortuary. So this individual was detained. After some time, they decided to give him, to set him free conditionally. That, I mean, that they really don't have bail, but they said it was liberté sous caution. Still call it bail, and that he will be coming back to answer. And when they did that, this individual, knowing what was before him, wondering what could happen to him, felt that it could make sense for him to escape. And so when he started doing paperwork and all whatnot, they were monitoring him. They noticed that he was doing paperwork to run away from the country, right from the sidelines. They went through every agency where he went and was doing, and needed one kind of documentation or the other, needed money here and there. They facilitated it for him to help push him out into exile. And this is how this individual found himself in exile until this day. That is Paul Atanganji. That is the Paul Atanganji mantra. That is exactly what they are doing right now. Paul Atanganji is going to set up a lot of people. So when you see these weapons, when you see these pictures, they say, oh, these are war weapons. Don't fall to the manipulation. When you see all these pictures, say, oh, they got this from the home of Anise Ekane and others. Don't fall to the manipulation. It is the same thing. Because, like I said, they want the international community to sympathize with them when they start cracking down on people mercilessly that they are fighting, that they are trying to nip an insurrection, an armed insurrection in the buds. It is in that same light that they went to Tiko in southern Cameroon. You see, we always pay the price. Our people are always eager to sacrifice our young people on the altar of their selfish ambitions. That's how they went to Tiko and went by the seashores and arrested 10 young men who are always on the seas, going to meet the Nigerians who are fishing on those seas and getting out some kind of wood from the middle of the sea, those seashores, that they come back to Tiko, get this wood dried, split, and then sell, especially to those people who are roasting fish and all of those things along the roads in Tiko and in Mutengene. That has been the job of these guys. People know them. When they are not doing this, they are either bike riders, they are either doing petty trades and all whatnot. In Tiko, people know these young men in Tiko. Now from nowhere, they went and captured them and began first of all by giving a fake story that they were posing as custom officials that they are not, and wanting to extort money from people. See the boys here. And when they did that, 2 days after, they now came up and said they found a huge cache of weapons on that boat that they arrested these guys. And then the guys were bringing those huge stacks of that huge cache of weapons to go and attack Douala in support of Issa Chiruma Bakari. How low can we go? Look at this video.
Cherchez à comment vous allez vous disposer là-bas dedans à 5.
Bon, on peut s'asseoir.
Parce que vous asseyez comme ça.
On va s'asseoir, tu mets un comme ça entre tes jambes, et puis ton âme est comme ça. Hein? Où est-ce qu'il dit non? Donc tu es assis, tu es comme ça, tes pieds sont entre les deux là, même si c'est sur sa tête, ce sont plus les êtres humains. Est-ce qu'on a fait ceci? Il fallait être déterminé à être taillé.
Bon.
Tu vois, donc tu poses, il y a une personne qui va aller là, lui il est là-haut.
Là où ils sont même là, non, ils sont forts.
Hein? Et 2 pieds sont comme ça. Je suis non. Une autre personne de ce côté.
C'est un Nigérien.
Les 2 pieds sont là, donc tu les tiens là. Ils sont des mains. Il est face à toi. Tu vois un peu. Voilà.
Custom.
Je pense que je peux
Cameroun Custom.
Cameroun Custom.
quelques
On a dit Cameroun Custom, non?
2, 3.
Ils disent qu'ils sont les Cameroun
You
Custom.
become YouTube, Cameroun Custom, non?
Ils sont 4, non?
You Custom.
C'est bon, ça fait
Now you
2.
organize all these things.
Un ici, un là-bas, moi ici.
Now one Cameroon and that, where you say be custom. And that, all them so, now the custom for them this. But they take whole boat and take money for water.
Il y a l'autre qui sort de Boya, l'autre qui sort de Blé, l'autre qui sort
Il y a là
de
encore un
Douala.
type de Tiko là-bas.
The mix, Tiko, Douala, custom,
Allez, Naja.
fake custom.
Allez, Naja là-bas.
Where they take money.
Naja. Les douaniers.
Le douanier, le vrai douanier, le Nigérien. Non, j'attends qu'on vienne.
So as you hear the soldiers talking in this video, of course, people on the ground in Tiko that I reached out to confirm to me actually that these guys have sometimes played dirty on the waters, extorting money from Nigerians who are fishing on those seas. And sometimes, of course, they have actually posed as fake customs officers while they are doing the wood business, the splitting of wood and selling. They have also done that and extorted money from Nigerian customs, which is, of course, a reprehensible act. But that suddenly, after they were caught and they were saying these were posed as fake customs officials, which is something good. They were doing something bad that was not acceptable and they were picked up. But like I said, 48 to 72 hours after, they now say that they also caught them with a huge catch of weapons. And then they were coming in with these weapons to go and attack Douala in support of Issa Chiruma Bakari. When you listen to this conversation between their captors and them inside this car, do you hear them anywhere ask them, who gave you these weapons? Where did you get these weapons? What were you doing with these weapons? Oh no. The crime of these boys is actually impersonation. But today, because Atanganji and the others want some narrative at all costs, they are now setting these boys up as being people who were coming in with weapons to lead an insurrection. This is what I'm talking about. This is something we should be very vigilant about, because a lot of people, like I say, are going to lose their lives for crimes they did not commit. You might commit one crime, but they tag you with another one because it would have to suit the narrative of the moment. These are things that are absolutely unacceptable. And all of this is happening for one thing, because Issa Chiroma Bakari, in a broadcast, has called for general mobilization towards a massive demonstration this Sunday, the 26th of October 2025, all over the national territory. Of course, when I say all over the national territory, I mean all over La République du Cameroun. I have said, and I will reiterate, to our people of the southern Cameroons, please stay this off. I see them doing all kinds of maneuvers in Boya, in Bamenda, oh, don't participate in this. We have a fight that we have been fighting. We have a real battle before us. We have a real struggle before us. This one is the fight of the people of La République du Cameroun. We shall continue to mobilize ourselves towards fighting for what is our right, not this one. So, like I said, Issa Chiroma sent out this message, and that is what has sent La République du Cameroun ballistic. Listen.
Chers compatriotes, le dimanche 26 octobre à 15h, je vous appelle à sortir massivement dans toutes les villes du Cameroun, dans chaque village, chaque quartier, ainsi que dans la diaspora. Faisons entendre notre voix à travers une marche pacifique qui montrera à tous, au pays comme à l'international, que c'est le peuple qui choisit son leader. Restons unis, dignes et déterminés. Notre force réside dans notre nombre, dans notre discipline et dans notre conviction que l'avenir du Cameroun appartient à ses enfants.
So this demonstration, or this mass demonstration called by Issa Chiroma Bakari, is for this Sunday, the 26th of October, 2025, beginning at 3 p.m. It says it begins at 3 p.m. I don't know why it's 3 p.m., but that is what it is. And so you hear Isa Chiruma inside there tell the people that they should come out from all the nooks and crannies of their territory. They should be on the streets everywhere. Part two, villages, cities, and all whatnot. And he says, what will matter will be the numbers. And so this is exactly what La République du Cameroun had dreaded. This is exactly what La République du Cameroun had feared. Now you see, in their strategy, they have noticed that it is going to be extremely difficult to capture Issa Chiroma Bakari. Despite the threats and despite the false bravado demonstrated by Atangana Paul G, they have tried. They have made 4 desperate attempts at arresting Issa Chiroma Bakari, and it hasn't worked. And so they have told themselves that the best strategy to put in place is to isolate him, is to capture every other person that made up that Union for Change 2025, and by arresting a lot of these people and every talking head that has been supporting the fact that Issa Chiroma Bakari won the election. And so what will this do? It will set panic. It will put confusion. It will bring fear in the hearts and minds of the people, and people will be unlikely to go out. At the same time that they are swearing that there will be fire and brimstone on the people, we saw them send out CPD militants in Douala to go out on the streets of Douala and march with no interruption, urging the Constitutional Council to declare Paul Biya winner of the election. No problem. We saw them also gathering some very hungry, lost souls in Boya to come out that they were marching in favor of, peace. How do you win an election? Overwhelmingly, as I saying, sweeping votes everywhere, getting the popular vote like never before seen. And then suddenly you are so afraid of the same people who have voted you. You are so afraid that at the pronouncement of the result of the election that you have won, the same people who voted for you, who wanted you to win, will become a problem. This is what you ask yourself. So we are seeing that all over the place. But my dear people of the southern Cameroons, I assure you, verily, verily, it may not be business as usual in La République du Cameroun. So if you're watching me, you are listening to me, share this link and call family, call friends who are still in La République du Cameroun, still in the towns and cities or even the villages of La République du Cameroun, to make sure they stock their homes, to make sure they have essential supplies in their homes, to make sure they stay vigilant, and to make sure they look at all the escape routes and be ready to run to safety when things get completely broken down. Because the breakdown is absolutely inevitable at this point in time. Because you see, these ancients of days you see on my screen are determined to shed as much blood as possible if they really must go. If they can't force themselves to stay, they want to make sure that they will have as many people as possible killed, shed as much blood as they can before they leave. You see them here? Paul Biya there, 92 years old. His nephew, I think his nephew, Clement Atangana, who is president of the Constitutional Council, 91 years old. You have René Claude Meka, who is the Army Chief of Staff of La République du Cameroun, 91 years old. You have Marcel Niat Njifendi, who is even rumored to have died because no one has seen him. Right from the moment they launched the summoned the electoral body and went through the campaigns until the elections to this point, nobody has seen him. So he's even rumored dead, but he's 84 years old. Laurent Esso, Minister of Justice, 83 years old. And of course, Kavae Yege Nombril, Speaker of the National Assembly, alias Paul Biya. Oh yeah! He is 85 years old. These are the people who are determined to rock the peace. These are the people who are determined to rock the peace in that country. So my people, look at it. This is it. So why are they arresting people right now? Why are they on the rampage right now? Why are they setting people up? Why are they claiming that they have taken weapons on people's homes? Because they are afraid of the crowd on the streets. Let me tell you, the authorities of La République du Cameroun, that sanguinous regime, they haven't forgotten what happened in the southern Cameroons on the 22nd of September 2017, when this kind of call saw millions, led by our attackers, saw millions of people on the streets of the southern Cameroons, everywhere, in all the nooks and crannies, in the villages, in the cities, in the towns, in every agglomeration. They were shocked, they were embarrassed, and Yaoundé was shaken to the foundation. So they are afraid of those kind of crowds, especially when, even without such a call coming in, they see the kind of crowds I'm about to show you on the streets. They know that there is danger right ahead. Watch. So you see, as Issa Chiroma Bakari says to the people of La République du Cameroun, that it will have to be a game of numbers. Imagine that suddenly, when they get up tomorrow, when they get up this Sunday, the 26th of October, they find this kind of crowds on the streets all over their country. They can't match it. I've said here before, after getting very clear and authentic figures from within the services of La République du Cameroun, and you can also Google, you get figures that approximate to that. That right now, they have a total of 52,000 members of the armed forces only. That is all the forces put together, be it the police, the gendarmes, the soldiers, the special forces, the JPing, the JPAC, the everything. There are just about 51,000. Just about 51,000. And so if you have to have these 51,000 people confront, say 15, 20 million people on the street, they can't. They can't hold it. They will not be able to. They will be overwhelmed. So if you take one of the members of one of the uniformed person to 20 people, they will not be able to. They will be absolutely overwhelmed. And that is why they are shaken to the core. That is why they are afraid. That's why they are confused. And so their inability to arrest Issa Chiroma Bakari is also making them feel completely edgy. I bet you it's making them feel so terrible. They don't know absolutely what angle or, how to handle this situation. So what you are seeing there now is the regime is in panic mode. They fear that their fall is imminent. But let me be very clear to you. No matter how many people go out on the streets, those people will never give up without a fight. La République du Cameroun, right before your eyes and mine, is about to fly up into several pieces. And so, to oil their propaganda better, and to see how to set confusion in the minds of the people, and make them believe that their shepherd has abandoned them, of course, they hired Ernest Obama to come out there and launch this call, and launch this alert. Who? Breaking news. Issa Chiroma and freed on Nigeria. Breaking news. Issa Chiroma Bakari is on the run. He has already escaped to Nigeria and abandoned you people to yourselves. He's asking you to get into the streets when he cannot come, when he has rather escaped to safety. So don't show your head out. But folks, I reached out to my security forces on the ground in Marwa, in Garwa, and in Gaoundé. And all of them are categorical and clear. Issa Chiroma Bakari is in his house in Garwa. At the time I got into the studio, that is about 5 minutes, because that was just 5 minutes before I got into the studio, because I wanted to have the most current information. Issa Chiroma Bakari was in his house in Garwa. So Issa Chiroma Bakari has not gone anywhere. He has not escaped. He is right there in Garwa and waiting for them. What is making this regime frustrated is because Issa Chiroma Bakari himself has said it, that several members of the current government, have called him to congratulate him, to encourage him, and to urge him not to back down, that they are with him. And I said here before, it's actually back. I said it publicly. I'm not saying something, his voice note is out there, which he said it. I'm not inventing it. And I said it before, he even came to say it, that my sources at the presidency of the Republic of Cameroon told me the government was seriously divided. The same sources that gave me information concerning O.C. Joshua Nambangi and Cabral Libi, Bello Buba Maigari, and Serge Espoir Matomba, they told me the government was heavily divided. And the military itself, very divided. And Issa Chiruma Bakari also said several top military officials had called him, had congratulated him, and had told him not to back down. At the same time, a lot of the members of the security forces, police, gendarmes especially, have sent coveted messages to the people not to be afraid to go out and demonstrate, that they will not be in the street to shoot and kill anybody. They will not respect such orders. And that in their huge numbers, they will rather stand there and guide them as they demonstrate, asking for the respect of the true expression of the will of the people through the ballot box. And they have said in these private messages that they, the police too, want change. They, the gendarmes too, want change. They, the soldiers too, want change. But they will not be the ones to start it. And if the people become so full in the streets and the crowds become so overwhelming, it will make the task easier for them to fraternize with the people against the likes of Atanga Polji and others. So this is what is sending shockwaves through the spines of the people or of the government of La République du Cameroun at this point in time. That's why you see the Delegate General for National Security sent out a message to all the regional delegates for national security, saying they should examine their troops. They should look at at all those working at their various units, check loyalties, because it's afraid that Issa Chiruma Bakari had addressed a letter or addressed letters to a lot of them personally, and there could be possibilities of some of the members of the armed forces, of the security forces, of the forces of law and order, rather deciding to cooperate with the demonstrators than going after them. These are things that are frightening Yaoundé. It's not easy. It is painful on their side. They have all lost sleep. My people, it is time, if you don't have popcorn yet, you're in Southern Cameroon, buy. Because I don't want you out there. I want you just seated, be eating your popcorn and watching them dance to the kind of music they were celebrating when we were being subjected to it. This is what should happen. Make no mistake. Because in all this, while all this is going on, they have asked loud questions, but where is Cabral Libi? Where is O.C. Joshua Nambangi? Where is Bello Buba Maigari? Where is Serge Espoir Matomba? They too have polling sheets, have election return sheets from the polling stations that they should also publish so that people will compare and contrast with that published by those representing Issa Chiruma at those various polling stations. Because today the narrative from the Republic du Cameroon, they want to claim that those election return sheets that are in the possession of the leaders of the Union for Change 2025 are fake documents. Can you imagine that? That's what they are trying to claim right now. So that's why the public is asking O.C. Joshua, if you are genuine, you did not collect money, you did not come to any agreement with the CPDM, the same message to Cabral, same to Bello Buba, same to Serge Espoir Matomba, bring out your own election return sheets, publish them so that the public can compare and contrast. No one is shaking. I saw this one from Boris Berthold. Boris Berthold published this one saying, exclusive, Cabral Libi et aussi Joshua, the same people, Cabral Libi et aussi Joshua ont conclu un accord avec le gouvernement pour retirer leur requête au Conseil constitutionnel. Did you hear that? Of course, we saw a communique by O.C. Joshua and saw another one by Cameroun Libby withdrawing their petitions, calling for the cancellation of the vote in some precincts. They had filed this at the Constitutional Council, but Boris Berthaud is saying they got into an agreement with the government of La République du Cameroun, with the CPDM-led government, to withdraw their petitions from the Constitutional Council, and we also communicate signed by them, of course, effectively withdrawing those petitions. They never gave any clear reason to anyone, and so Boris Berthaud says that au-delà de l'argent, on leur a promis poste ministériel dans le cadre d'un gouvernement d'union nationale. It even gets worse. So Boris Berthaud is now saying here that besides money that was given out to these people, this is Boris Berthaud saying, not Akuro. Boris Berthaud has his own sources that have equally told him about money. That besides money, they also promised to give them positions in a government of national unity that would likely be formed if the CPDM were to end up having its way. I hope that Mimi Mefo sees this and should immediately go after Boris Berthaud. I hope that O.C. Joshua will be preparing a lot of lawsuits, because there are likely going to be so many lawsuits that he will be filing against a lot of people. And of course, like I said, we're still waiting for the summonses, and when they come, we'll be very anxious to get the entire Pandora's box open so that everyone should know what role people like O.C. Joshua have played in getting a lot of people in that country lose their lives in the name of supporting an opposition which had never really been an opposition. And that said, folks, I want to again today, like the other day that I talked about a man of God, the venerated Bishop Bar Pius Inubu, today I want to come now to another very strong man who has decided it is time to stand with truth. It is time to stand with the people. It is time to call for justice and not just sterile peace. This time we have a traditional ruler. Oh my goodness. This is Chief Oscar Sona Ebanja of Mukonje village, and is also the paramount ruler of the Balong tribe. Listen to him with your own ears, not me talking. Hear him.
Chief Oscar Sona Ebanja here, Chief of Mukonje village and paramount ruler of the Balong tribe. I come before you today as a servant and a guardian. In the recent days, a video which I did, which was just a simple plea for truth and integrity to be spoken, has been met with surprising discomfort from others. This in itself is a message louder than any words I'll ever speak. It tells us that the call for what is right is the most disruptive force of all. Let me be clear, because I've had a lot of people reach out to me saying I should take down the video. Some even say I should come say the video is fake, it's AI. But let me be clear. I stand on the side of the people's voice, expressed through their votes. I stand for the process where every citizen can trust that their choice matters. This is not an attack on any political party, please. It is a defense of the very foundation upon which every just society is built. I've been asked if I've been offered money to be silent or to speak. I'll say this here once and for all. If money is to be offered to me, I will take it. But I won't take cash. I won't take a wire transfer. I will receive the money in the form of well-constructed roads to connect our communities. I'll receive the money in the form of fully equipped hospitals where affordable, and I stress the word affordable, healthcare will be rendered to our people. I'll take the money in a currency where jobs are created so our youths and working class can have dignity. Let it be used to ensure that our government employees start to receive their salary from day one of their service and don't have to struggle for months and sometimes years in humiliation. Let it be a guarantee for our elders to receive their pensions with the honor they have earned. That is the only currency I will receive, the currency of development. We have seen others use their position to suppress, to try and do voters suppression, a criminal act. Case in point, threatening the CDC workers that they will be rendered as thieves if they do not vote a particular candidate of choice. But understand this is not my path. I'm a man of peace. Peace is not something you impose. True peace is not the silence of fear. It is not the calm of oppression. True peace is built on justice. It is what blooms when a people's voice is respected. So to those who are feeling uncomfortable, I say this to you. Hear the deeper cry of the people. This is not about me. It's not even about any personal gain. It is about a collective yearning for a future built on truth. My stance is unwavering. Let the process done by the Constitutional Council on Monday be just. Let the truth be spoken. Let the people's voice be the final. Thank you.
My people, verily, verily, I say unto you, change is coming to Southern Cameroons. I say change is coming to Southern Cameroons. The 9 years we have already put in this liberation movement, talking every day, hammering every day, calling on everyone to recognize that peace without justice is useless. That message is sinking. Gradually, people are speaking up. Gradually, people are getting it. Gradually, we are changing minds. We are touching hearts. We are touching souls. These 9 years have not been 9 years of waste, have been 9 years of building a solid foundation on which our liberation movement will soon stand. If you have continued to be here, you have continued to listen to me, you have continued to watch me, you have continued to share these communications, you have continued to respect our ghost towns, you have continued to stand strong and to support this liberation movement, you must be very proud of how far we have gone. You must be very proud of the grounds that we are covering together. You heard him. You heard Chief Oscar very well. He says, peace is not something you impose. Yes, peace is not something you impose through fear, through intimidation, through torture. He says true peace is built on the foundation of justice. This is what we have been talking about. And in case you are doubting what he was referring to when he said some people have used their positions, for the wrong reason, and talked about targeting CDC workers if they don't vote for a particular political party, listen to Mfon Mukete Ekoko. Listen.
The CDC workers who have received their salaries today, we're watching. If they don't cast their vote for President Paul Biya for the CPDM champion candidate, the candidate, not just for the CPDM, the candidate for the Cameroonian people, if they don't cast their vote, would accuse them that they are thieves. That is true. Yes, the CDC workers.
So you heard that. Will accuse them that they are thieves. Yes, because they got the fruit of their labor, the fruit of their sweat, what was owed them for years. That is it. My dear people of Amazonia, I say with the wave of arrests going on in the Republic now, and with many more people in that country willing to come out and talk now, oh my goodness. What the late Lucky Dube said in his song, Prisoner, is going to be happening in La République du Cameroun. Huh? There won't be no schools anymore. There won't be no hospitals. All they be will be prison. All they be will be prison. Well, I want to thank everyone who was part of this broadcast. Like I said, I will be having a live show tomorrow. That is Sunday the 26th of October 2025, because we'll have to be monitoring the situation on the ground. We'll be taking a pulse of what is happening on the ground in La République du Cameroun live on this platform. And so that live show will be on when it will be 8 p.m. Amber time will be 8 p.m. Amber time here specifically, because we will want to have the opportunity, I mean, to have to get what would have happened already a posteriori, and then talk to people on the ground who will be telling us what will still be going on by that time. But today already still the same day, like I said it earlier, when it will be 9 no, when it will be 11 p.m. Amber time, when it will be 11 p.m. Amber time, come back to this platform today, this 25th day of October 2025, for a very, very important discussion on the geopolitical and strategic implications of the disorder that's about to, that's beginning, that's ongoing, or that's unfolding in La République du Cameroun. But before that, at 8 p.m. Now, at 8 p.m. Amber time, there will be a very interesting broadcast here in French. Come to this platform, pick the link, share to the fora, the various social media fora where you are with citizens of La République du Cameroun. It will be a very important message for them to hear, for them to share among themselves. It will be a very important contribution towards these demonstrations they want to carry out in their land. That's the much help that we have to share with them. So that said, thank you everybody for being part of this show. Share the link as much as you can. Make sure you subscribe, and make sure you get a lot more people to subscribe, so that we all stay informed. Thank you very much for your very kind attention. To God be the glory.